Hello and welcome to CSAP tutorials for beginners. I am Ajit Srivastav and this is part 7 where we'll be basically discussing the data type conversion or casting in the CSAP. That means how to convert a variable of one data type to another data type. Okay. So basically there are two kind of conversion. One is implicit and one is explicit conversion. We'll see how we can basically perform this conversion through code itself. So let's directly jump to code. To demonstrate implicit conversion, it is simple. So let me just have an integer value int a equals 10, right? Now I want to take a float type variable, let's say it's b, and I want to assign a integer variable in it. Okay, so a is a variable of type int, b is a variable of type float. Okay, and within v I am trying to assign a. Okay, so now let's try to print this and see what is the output. If you simply print this and press F5 button, you should be able to see the output. So you can see a 10 is getting printed here, right? So how is it possible? You have taken a variable of type int and you're trying to store its value in a type of float variable, right, which is b. So here basically implicit conversion is taking place. So your CSAP compiler will at the time of executing, what it will do is it will simply typecast this int to float and you will be able to store this value, right? So basically one thing you have to keep in mind, implicit conversion will take place only when if you are not losing any information, right? So integer value 10 can also be considered as a float value. Due to that, it is implicitly converting into float. Let's take another example. Just convert this to float and I'll convert to int, right? As and when I do that, it will start flagging error, because if I'll store a value, a float value into an integer value, there is a chances like you will be losing whatever the values after dot, right? So due to that, compiler will start flagging that you cannot convert a float value to integer value implicitly, but you can always achieve this by explicitly calling it out. So how can you basically call out explicitly? One way to do this is just add like this. So what I am saying is I am trying to store a value of a in b, but first convert into integer type. So this statement will basically convert your float value a to integer and then it will store into value b. So if we'll print this, it should be perfectly fine. Correct? Let's take another example. Instead of this value float a, I am taking string, right? String value equals, let's say 10. Correct? I'll say value color. Here what I am trying to do is I am trying to convert a string to integer, which is not allowed. Even though if we try to typecast using this, it is not allowed there. So then how we can do this? To typecast into this, one option that you have is use this int dot parse. Now you can specify the value and you should be able to do this. Okay, so direct typecast you cannot do, direct explicit typecast you cannot do. To do this, you have certain options through which you can basically typecast a string to integer value. So what it means is it is trying to parse a value. Basically, it is parsing a value of a string type into integer. Let's run this and see what happens. We are able to see this clearly, right? Now, instead of 10, let's say I am giving 10a. Now this is not a number. We cannot store this 10a into an integer, whether we'll be able to typecast into B. Let's see that. So if we'll run this, you can see an exception occurred. Input string was not in a correct format. So whatever the string that we are trying to parse is not in a correct format for to be stored into an integer variable, right? Like this, your program crashed, and you have to make sure that whatever code you write, it should not crash, right? So you can handle it. So there is another option, try parse. Okay. So try parse, basically, if we'll just remove this, you can see here what all the parameter it takes. First parameter, it takes a string value, which is our string, so which is our value. So let's give value. Second parameter takes is out int result. So we need a integer value. Don't worry about this out. I'll try to cover this in my later video sessions. So for now, just think of int any result, any variable, result equals 0. Okay, and you just pass it as out result. Okay, now see what it returns. It returns a boolean. Okay, so here it should be just a boolean value, return value. Okay, so and for our simplicity's sake, let's print this as well. So what I am trying to do is I'll print result. Okay, and this return value, right? Okay, so let's see what actually it tries to do. Okay, let's for now we'll have just a 10. So what it do is, it try parse, what basically it do is, it will try to parse this value. Okay, if it is able to parse that value, it will store that value into this result variable. Okay, and it will return you a true. That means if try parse is able to parse the value successfully, then it will return true and it will store that parsed value into result variable. If by any means it couldn't able to parse the value, then it will not update this result value, which is basically currently set to 0. So it will remain 0 and it will return false. So if this return value is coming as false, means there is some problem with this string variable. It cannot be converted to integer variable. Clear, right? So if it is true, that means our string value is fine and we are able to basically convert that string to integer, and what is the integer value you can always get from this result variable. So let's run this. You can see value is coming as 10 true. True means it is able to parse it successfully. That's why it is returning true. And since it was successfully parsed, it is able to store that 10 value into result. Now let's add a. Let me stop this. Now let's add a and try to run. So 10a, definitely it will not be able to parse it. So what it will do is, return value it is returning as false because it is not able to parse it. Result is 0. So whatever the value we have assigned earlier, it didn't modify that value. That's why result remains as 0. So this is one of the option. You can basically parse a string without giving any exception. So your program will not crash and you will be able to handle it. Another option that you can have is convert dot to int. So int 32 means it's a integer number. So what it do is, it converts a specified value to equivalent 32-bit integer. This is for boolean, sorry. So similarly, you can convert a byte to integer, you can convert a character to integer, you can convert a date time to integer. All these options are available, but for now we want to convert a string, so we'll use this function. So we'll pass just a value here and this will be integer. So this is the another option that you can use to convert a string to integer value, right? So you can see that we are able to convert to integer. Now let's give a. Now see. It again crashed. Input string was not in the correct format. So here you have to do exception handling. So try parse is the best way to convert string to integer, because it takes care of exception handling. It will never raise any exception and it will never crash your application. Okay. So we'll discuss exception handling in a great detail in later video sessions. So I'll try to create some videos on exception handling as well. So for now, understand that these are the options through which you can basically convert one data type to another data type. Okay. So yeah, so what all the options that we saw, right? These are explicit conversion, right? Means we are explicitly instructing the compiler that I want to convert this data type from one type to another type. Okay. So this is what I had for data conversion, and please comment if you have any suggestions or if you have any question. I'll try to answer all of your questions. Thanks for watching. Have a good day.